Webster family is still fighting for workplace protections for all victims of domestic violence. Their daughter, Amanda Dabrowski, was fired from her job 48 hours after she was attacked allegedly at the hands of a coworker. The same man is now accused of her murder. And Kerry, 25 Investigates has followed this case from the very beginning, and you've also learned legislation in honor of Amanda will be filed again on Beacon Hill to ensure domestic violence doesn't cost a victim their job.
Filing it once again, this legislation would close a loophole in Massachusetts labor law and provide protections for temporary or contract workers along with full-time employees. For the third year in a row, some on Beacon Hill will join the Dabrowski family in trying to make that happen in honor of Amanda.
Get the job done. You know what? Don't drag your feet.
That's Beth and Ed Dabrowski's straightforward message to Massachusetts lawmakers as they fight to expand workplace domestic violence protections to all workers in the state. It's a message they've been sending for nearly 3 years.
Getting this moved forward.
25 Investigates was at the State House in February 2020 when the Webster family first asked lawmakers to change current labor law in honor of their daughter, Amanda. She was murdered in July 2019 at the age of 31. Police say her co-worker, Carlos Asensio, a man she briefly dated, tracked her down at this Worcester restaurant where he repeatedly stabbed her. But as 25 Investigates has documented, 3 months earlier, the same man's accused of attacking her in a violent home invasion. She fought off the attacker in the first event, but that act of violence cost her her job. Even though she was the victim, Amanda was terminated within 48 hours.
I immediately started looking at, what laws can protect victims of domestic violence. That's when we found the loophole.
Current state labor law allows for a leave of absence of 15 days for direct employees who were victims of domestic violence. But it does not extend to contracted workers like Amanda was at the time.
We're very committed to making sure that this is law because everyone should be protected if you work in Massachusetts and are a victim of domestic violence.
State Senator Ryan Fatman is one of the sponsors of this legislation to close the loophole. He says even with bipartisan support, his bill has yet to get out of committee.
You cannot be fired because you miss work due to being abused. I mean, that is about the most common sense thing that exists, and yet we haven't been able to make it law because it hasn't been a priority on Beacon Hill.
A survivor of this type of abuse really needs time.
They need time to heal. They need time for appointments, the time to regain a sense of safety.
Stephanie Page is executive director of Abby's House. The Worcester shelter provides housing and advocacy for women experiencing homelessness, the majority of whom are survivors of domestic violence.
We need to listen to them, and our lawmakers need to listen to them and take them seriously.
So obviously this legislation can't help Amanda, but why are you still fighting for it?
If it could happen to Amanda, it could happen to Vicky, it could happen to anybody. Why can't we protect all?
And lawmakers will refile the bill when the new legislative session begins in January. As for the suspect, Carlos Asensio, his attorneys are moving ahead with an insanity defense. That trial was supposed to begin in December, but that could be delayed. A reminder, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you or someone you care about is worried about their relationship, there is help. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Chat at thehotline.org or text START to 88788.